This was not an accident. It is a little alarming, I think, even to the public.
A year later, and troopers are still investigating who shot and killed a South Dakota mom while driving in mid-Missouri.
Impeaching Donald John Trump, President of the United States, for high crimes and misdemeanors.
The House Judiciary Committee close to voting on impeachment. What's next in the process?
The complaints do vary, but the most common complaint we see is just that the puppy did not exist.
Plus, preying on your holiday emotions, the tactic scammers are using in growing numbers. This is KOMU 8 News at 10.
Coverage you can count on. KOMU 8 News starts now.
Tomorrow marks 1 year since someone shot and killed a South Dakota mother while she drove on I-70. Her children were in the back seat. Good evening, everyone. I'm Emily Spain.
And I'm Jim Rick. Thanks for joining us. KOMU 8's Amber Robb joins us here in the studio with how many leads investigators have tried to track down.
I found out today investigators have tracked down almost 200 leads. MSHP says their goal is to give Melissa Pesky's friends and family closure and make sure justice is served.
There's no doubt for our investigators, this is one of those cases that they take home with them. They're thinking about when they're at home, trying to, work through the leads, prioritize the leads.
Melissa Pesky died last December 13th. Police say someone shot and killed her from outside her car. This happened off I-70 near Boonville.
This was not an accident.
The Missouri State Highway Patrol says this is not a case you see every day.
This is open and it's active, and there's still a lot of work to do.
The number of new leads has dwindled as the year's gone on. 1 week after Pesky's death, investigators were following more than 60 leads. In September, 9 months after the incident, there were 139 leads. And right now, there are 185 leads.
A little alarming, I think, even to the public.
In a statement from MSHP, Sergeant Griggs said, quote, "We continue to work with multiple law enforcement agencies spanning several states." Griggs says they follow every lead and hopes it brings them answers.
In September, Pesky's family offered a $10,000 reward for information leading to the arrest of her killer. In the studio, I'm Amber Robb, KOMU 8 News.
Today, search crews looking for the missing Columbia woman, Mungshi G. Elage, returned to Cooper County for an 8th day. Crews at the Lamine River cleared more debris. Divers did a section grid search underneath the bridge. Crews will be back tomorrow morning. A private boat equipped with sonar will also be used tomorrow.
Here's what's happening right now. The House Judiciary Committee is still debating amendments to the articles of impeachment against President Trump. Here's a live look at debates on Capitol Hill. Now, the vote from the Democrat-controlled committee moves the process ahead to a full House vote. That's expected next week. The debate created some fireworks on the full House floor.
The President of the United States shook down a foreign power to come and get involved in our election. That's wrong.
This is a completely unprecedented single-party impeachment charade, and everybody at home can see that clearly.
The Senate is already looking ahead to a trial in January with Republicans in charge. They're strategizing over whether to bring in witnesses like President Trump wants or make it a quick trial expected to end in acquittal.
Well, our winds are about 5 to 10 miles per hour right now, and they're from the south, and that's helping to keep us on the warm side of things. That could move north and south also. I'm going to dig into this potential winter storm in the first alert full forecast coming up. Stay tuned.
Okay, thanks, Kenton. Even though he was the victim of a shooting, a Columbia man is now in jail. Authorities booked Sam Baldwin into the Boone County Jail Wednesday on 2 drug possession charges relating to the September shooting that injured him and left 18-year-old Nadria Wright dead. Prosecutors are arguing Sam Baldwin is a danger to the community because of his involvement in that shooting. KOMU 8's Spencer Humphrey has the story.
Authorities booked Sam Baldwin into the Boone County Jail Wednesday on 2 drug possession charges relating to the September shooting that injured him and left 18-year-old Nadria Wright dead. Court documents reveal medics found a bag hidden in Baldwin's underwear on the night of the shooting. The substances inside ultimately tested positive for ecstasy and heroin. That's why he's in jail now. But the document goes on to say Baldwin's car was targeted because Baldwin was in a dispute with a member of a rival gang. It says Wright was criminally uninvolved in the situation. In September, prosecutors motioned to set Baldwin's bond at $25,000, arguing he poses a danger to the community because of his involvement in the shooting that led to Wright's death.
This evening, Wright's mother told us, quote, "I pray for Sam's safety, mental and physical health. Nadria looked at him as family and accepted him and loved him for who he is. In that unexpected moment, he covered and shielded my baby with no avail, without a second thought. Sam proved she was family to him as well. I will forever be grateful for his efforts to save my baby." Baldwin was arraigned on those drug possession charges earlier this afternoon.
A Morgan County clinic doesn't need a license to help deliver babies. The state and clinic were in a lawsuit for more than 2 years. KOMU8's Gabriela Gonzalez is here in the studio with the difference of opinion.
The Garden of Hell has been around for 4 years, helping mostly the Mennonite and Amish communities. It is owned by a midwife who performs baby deliveries in the clinic. The state filed a lawsuit against the clinic because, according to them, it's supposed to have a license to perform deliveries. Now, midwives do have licenses to perform deliveries, but the clinic itself would need a license if it says it's a birth center. The judge ruled in favor of the clinic, saying births is not the only care it provides. The midwife there also is the owner of the clinic. She says she's happy the lawsuit ended.
We've always tried very hard to comply with the law, and we're happy to know that we do, and we'll continue to be able to give families the care that they want. And again, for a safe and affordable way to have your baby.
A neighbor says he's glad the clinic is still open. It is economically more accessible to Mennonite families who only have one source of income. In the studio, Gabriela Gonzalez, KOMU8 News.
For the first time, parents in Missouri can see how much it costs the state to send their child to their specific school.
Today, the Missouri Department of Elementary and Secondary Education released a new report. We compared the costs and found there's often a big range from one school to the next. Desi says the amount can vary for a number of reasons, including teacher salaries, cost of living, and student needs. For high schools, Frederick Douglass spends about $14,000 per student. At Rockbridge, it's about $8,000. Comparing two middle schools, $11,000 per student at Oakland, $9,000 at Gentry. Elementary schools spend the least, with New Haven at $11,000, Mill Creek at $7,000. A parent of 3 was not aware schools spend differently from one building to the next.
The fact that different schools have different amounts per child is probably okay based on those schools and what programs they're running. I'm not concerned about it being fair, but I feel like my children are getting what they need.
The Columbia School District says its goals is to provide each school with what it needs to have successful students. To view the findings, you can visit our website at KOMU.com.
There's another leadership shakeup at Father Tolton Catholic High School. This week, the principal announced she's not returning next school year. She's the second leader in 3 months to make a similar announcement. Back in October, the diocese fired former President Doug Callahan after less than 2 months on the job. The Diocese of Jefferson City is launching a nationwide search for new leaders. A spokeswoman says she wants someone to help advance the long-term growth of the school, but says she's not worried about how this will affect enrollment.
This is a school that is going to thrive and will provide a great environment for their children to grow and to learn. So I think, actually, I'm not worried. I think it will be a positive sign for families who are looking at children.
Bishop Sean McKnight and the diocese school superintendent were unavailable for comment.
The University of Missouri could have to pay $350,000 in legal fees. This comes after a lawsuit against MU over an open records request. The lawsuit follows a dispute from 4 years ago. The university asked an animal rights group to pay more than $80,000 for records related to dogs and cats used in research. A judge ruled in November the university knowingly violated sunshine laws.
New Zealand officials are in disaster recovery mode now as they try to find 8 bodies after Monday's volcanic eruption. Crews won't have it easy. Experts say there's a greater than 50% chance it could erupt again. The country's compensation plan covers the cost of their treatment for injuries, but it bars them from suing the tour companies.
Coming up, a cute puppy under the Christmas tree, a holiday treat, unless you're in the doghouse for getting ripped off.
Paging Dr. Google, the top health questions you ask the world's top search engine this year.
And here's that flight forecast for our Friday. We're not expecting delays, but we do have a mix of sun and clouds from most locations. Almost all in the 50s, except for 42 in Chicago, 46 in Denver. First alert forecast talking about a potential winter storm. Everything you need to know coming up.
Buyers beware. There's an online pet selling scam on the rise this holiday shopping season.
The Better Business Bureau says the scam is becoming more and more popular. KOMU8's James Stanley is here with what you need to know to avoid getting conned.
The Better Business Bureau is warning shoppers to be on the lookout for online pet selling scams. The most common scam is when a fake online seller falls through on a sale and the buyer is left empty-handed. According to the BBB, more than 16,000 people have been scammed this way in the last 3 years. The scam gets worse around the holidays since scammers tend to prey on buyers' emotions, which can make them impulsive. The BBB warns shoppers to never trust an online advertisement selling a pet since they're almost always a fake.
As many of these tend to be scammers who pretend to be either breeders or pet sellers, and sometimes they pretend to be pet owners who are looking for ways to basically find a new home for their pets.
There are some ways holiday shoppers looking for a furry friend can protect themselves. Meet the seller in person. Never send money through wire transfer. Don't send the seller a gift card as payment. Scammers often use fake pet photos from other websites. Check to see if the photo is a duplicate. And you can use the Better Business Bureau's free online scam tracker. Reporting live in the studio, James Stanley, KOMU8 News.
Google released the top 10 health questions users in the U.S. asked in 2019. The most popular question, how to lower your blood pressure. The second most popular search was what a keto diet involves, which is a high-fat, low-carb diet. Other searches involved how to get rid of the hiccups, the flu, and kidney stones.
All right, well, you're going to see a time lapse today over Jefferson, or not over Jefferson today, over Rocheport area, the Missouri River there. Around 6:15 a.m., temperatures were around that 35-degree mark, and then we had a pretty nice sunrise in the morning because we had some clouds there that the sun really decided to kind of bounce off the light from the sun bouncing off the bottom, and that would lead to locally higher amounts. Again, we're still a few days away, so stay with us all weekend long. We'll keep you updated right here on KOMU8 and the free KOMU weather and traffic app. 35 degrees for our low tonight as you head out the door tomorrow morning. 52 then tomorrow afternoon. Enjoy that warmer day because we are cooling down with that cold front. High of only 37 on Saturday. We're in the 30s all day on Saturday. Then we're at 32, not even getting above freezing on Sunday with that snowfall increasing throughout the overnight hours. On Monday, we are expecting accumulating snow and then wind chills in the single digits as lows get into the teens on Tuesday and Wednesday morning.
Okay, thanks, Kenton. Coming up, a professional sports league is trying to help teams avoid problems with opioids, the new requirements for MLB players.
Plus your lottery numbers. Good luck.
Welcome back. The House passed a bill that could give the government the ability to negotiate prescription drug prices. It won't become law yet. The bill still has to pass the Senate. Hopes of it passing there might be short-lived because senators are working on their own drug pricing bill. President Trump says he would veto the bill if both end up passing. The Congressional Budget Office says the bill would save Medicare $456 billion over a decade.
Major League Baseball is updating its drug abuse treatment program. The league will start testing for opioids, cocaine, fentanyl, and synthetic THC. Players who test positive will be referred to a treatment board. The league is making educational programs mandatory. It will highlight the dangers of opioid pain meds and practical approaches to marijuana. Plenty of high school basketball tonight, including the 64th Annual Centralia Invitational. Highlights you won't want to miss coming up next.